All right, so I just want to start off this episode by I went back and I was like going through the old videos and stuff, and I'm wearing a different shirt. Finally, I've literally wore the Miller T-shirt every fucking like the past four we put on YouTube, like the last four since we restarted. I've wore the
Really?
same Miller shirt, and the one that I had a sweatshirt on, I took it off in the middle of the episode, and I was wearing the Miller T-shirt. So I
You
changed
gotta let me
it.
know when I'm wearing something.
You honestly probably wore that like one of the times I can't remember.
Probably, yeah.
I'll have to let you know. But anyway, we're back. Music is dropping like crazy. Like I said, the floodgates are officially opening. Um, we will get into that in a second, but I feel like we should just go over some not so good stuff right away that just kind of came out in the last day or two. Yesterday, the rapper, I think he's, what is he, 18 years old, Lil Mosey, just got a rape charge. There's a warrant out for his arrest because he missed his court date. Didn't read much, totally a lot about it, but that's some fucked up shit. I don't know how true it is,
It's a
obviously.
little crazy considering that this is probably a thing for a while now, or
Yeah,
at least the cat was out of the bag for a little while now, and Mosey was just on the Internet Money single, so
yeah,
that doesn't really look good for Internet Money.
yeah. I don't know if it's
And
really
Lil
internet money, but
Tecca, well,
but
he's not on Internet Money.
yeah,
Mosey's not on Internet Money, but they just got him as the feature, and they're trying to call that song like song of the summer and shit, like jet ski. Like I don't know if
yeah.
anybody's gonna be bumping that. Like
I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea about this. Like, it's breaking news. I didn't really read a ton about it, but that's
I
yeah.
just heard about it yesterday.
Yeah, I just saw it pop up on my feed, and I was like, "Whoa!" I thought it was a joke for a second. I was like, "That's it's kind of fucked up." He's been dropping some. He's been on some like songs recently too. I know he had a song with Smoke Perp recently, and then there might have been a couple other things. But yeah, we'll have to keep our eyes on that one because that's some big shit. And then also, I don't know if you saw Fabio Foreign also got locked up for a gun charge in New Jersey, actually.
I did see that. I saw that yesterday too. It was
And he
like,
had a song come out last night. People were like, "Didn't he just get locked up and shit?" And and people were
yeah,
trying to
but
be like, "It's promotion."
you can still have your songs come out.
Yeah, people were
Like
trying to be like, "It's promotion." I was like, "Bro, not every time a fucking rapper gets locked up, it's about promotion." I get it.
no,
Like
bro,
some
they're
people,
going through real life shit just like
yeah,
us. So,
yeah, it's
like,
fucking
like I don't understand why people try to be like that.
because
It's
I guess some people probably have do that. Maybe I don't know, but it's very rare. It's a very
yeah.
rare occasion. But yeah, some of that shit kind of fucked up. But we can get into some actual music now. But Polo G's "Rap Star" is officially the number one song in the world. We talked about that last week, but it is official. It's his first number one. I was kind of surprised. I thought "Pop Out" might have been close, but I think it was like number. I don't know if it was in the top 10 or not, but
It was still a viral hit,
yeah, for sure.
at the time.
But congratulations to him. I think he might get another number one by the end of the year. I could definitely see that. The way he's been
I
going.
mean,
Just,
yeah,
he's
yeah,
on
for
this
sure.
he's on a song that just dropped on the Moneybagg album with Lil Durk. I really like. So he's making a lot of
Or
moves here, and like I said, he's got a Hall of Fame album coming out eventually, probably in the next couple of months. So that's
probably
gonna
in the
be
summer.
yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see. And also, the Slime Language album did officially go number one, and it was actually it was actually their biggest first week sale out of any YSL artist ever, like including Young Thug. I think his highest was obviously So Much Fun in 2019. I think it beat it by like I want to say 10 or 15,000, which is a lot. So congratulations to all of them, and they dropped obviously their deluxe just last night at 3 a.m. here in the East Coast. Check that out. I liked a couple of the features. There was like the baby feature. I liked the Don Tolliver, which is really interesting. I did not think it like Young Thug's bringing everybody on this. I was really surprised at that shit.
Bro, the fucking lineup is like all star. It was already all star.
Yeah, so now it's like I think the album's probably damn near 30, 31 songs now. So
Yeah,
typical,
they only put out like 7 new songs,
yeah, seven. I
six
think it
new
was like seven
songs.
new songs, and I think like half. I mean, they might actually more. No, more than half had features. And actually, the one funny one was. Did you see that his daughter had a verse and had an actual song? It's
No,
on
I didn't.
deluxe. Her name is like I want to say it's Migo, like Mego.
Oh, okay, okay. I saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's her. It's like his 7-year-old daughter rapping. It's really cool. It's really cool. It's funny. You should
that's lit. What the
check it out.
fuck?
Yeah, but yeah, Thug just continuing to do Thug things. Just, I think, yeah, I don't know. It was a great album. I'm still bumping it. It's only been a week, but both congratulations to Polo and Young Thug, Gunna, all those guys from YSL. I mean that you know #1 album. Got to be excited. So that was just a couple things off the top. I'm trying to think what we should go into. I guess we can talk a little bit of Migos. So um they're mixing culture. I think Quavo or Murder Beats was talking about some shit on Instagram the other day, right after we did our last podcast. So it's gonna be coming out pretty soon. I wanted to ask you, just get your opinion. Do you think? I know we've talked about it a bunch of times, but do you think Migos with Culture 3 will have a potential top 5 album this year?
I mean, I think it's just because they're already a super group already, and I think that
Not
they've
numbers
been
wise.
so.
I mean top 5 like production wise, like everything.
Oh, yeah, yeah, for sure. Because think about it, they're in the studio with all these fucking great producers, great artists, top quality engineers. You got good mixers. You got creative directors like QC in there trying to rebuild. You got new heads as well. That they've met along the way. They're pushing boundaries, and the people around them are helping them push the boundaries. So I think that with that there will be a very solid album from them. Thing is, I haven't really been paying attention to them much, but I kind of like that I haven't been paying attention to them much because it's like I can just get hit with the album and listen to it and be like, yeah, like this is what we needed. Like I didn't need to hear any like I didn't need to be in the hype scene where the fuck it is. I'm not worried about when it comes out.
Right.
I mean, we need it, but I'm not
Street need it.
necessarily, yeah, I'm not necessarily like worried about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the only I guess I am quote unquote worrying about it because I want them to make a comeback. It's been since 2018 since I really seen them at their height, I guess, and that was probably I don't even know if I could say 2018, probably late 2017. I guess I'd say 2018. Anyway, I think this could be a top 5 album this year. I don't know. I've heard some of the snippets and I really like them. And I think,
Yeah.
like I said, Quavo I think is on, or academics and other people have been saying that they're really locked in, which is I feel like we haven't heard that in a couple of years, like especially from them. The whole I can't say her name, Saweetie breakup thing with Quavo, and they said Offset's been doing a couple features already. You said Takeoff's doing a lot of work with some new artists and new producers you've been talking about recently. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm really excited for this album. I hope, like we said before, I hope it's not a 30-song project right off the bat that we're gonna have to like sim through because that's just not what fans want right now.
Mhm.
We're probably going to get a large album because it's a trio, and then they're going to have features, obviously. But I don't know. I don't. I'm really excited to hear what we're going to have to come from this album. But what was I going to say about your point? Oh yeah, you were talking about like the production. Like just because the production and like they're working with good artists doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be a great album. Like I think they worked with a bunch of great artists on their last project, and I thought a lot of the production was well on Culture too. But the length of it, the kind of repetitiveness, I don't know if we're gonna end up having that again,
I
as
feel like
opposed
they've
to
definitely
Culture One.
I feel like they've definitely just seen all the shit that made culture to fall back, and they're like, okay, we really need to if we're gonna have a long album, we really need to make sure it's consistent, or there's certain parts of the album where it's like, okay, we got this kind of vibe, or we're focusing on this artist right now, or for like a couple songs or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like the thing is, they didn't necessarily even. I mean, the length was bad already, but like they didn't really have any structure like to it.
yeah, I
And
agree.
I think that with Culture One, they definitely had more structure to it. I mean, given the fact that all the songs were kind of like the same vibe and shit, like just Migos, like no label type shit. Like
Yeah,
for Culture One, it was like that didn't matter because there was only 10 songs. Like there was only like or like 12, 13
13,
songs,
yeah, I think it was like 13.
like some shit like that. And yeah, it was just like they were able to be consistent, and that was like the that was like the theme.
Hmm.
And like the problem is they just they don't have time, like they don't do a good job staying consistent.
Yeah, but I think with this like time off period, and I wouldn't even say time off period. Now they're obviously in the studio working. I think
Yeah.
with them being able to wait most of 2020, they dropped what a cut like 2 or 3 singles, I think, with a couple features. I know the Rich Kid had one, and then Young Boy had a feature. Um, but with I think they kind of stayed low, and I kind of like that in 2020. They put a couple like a feature here and there just to like see what the atmosphere is like, because like we said, music is different than it was when they were in their prime a couple of years ago. It's just even 2 3 years ago, music, like the sound is so much different. Like the Lil Durk, Lil Baby sound is different than the Migos sound was just a couple of years ago. So
It'll be interesting seeing how they focus on how the modernized sound is, for sure.
that was real, and that's the one snippet I really like, the Modern Day Stroll that like popped out a couple weeks ago. That
Hmm.
I did really like the sound of that, and uh, I thought Quavo had a different approach to that song. Like he had, like I've always been a Quavo feature fan, and I've religiously talked about how like in the past couple of years he's kind of had the same monotone like approach to most songs, and I just I didn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't like pick up the phone and like the aggressiveness that we used to see, but like I heard that snippet and I was like, ooh, that's a little different. I kind of like that. It's not
Yeah.
2017 Quavo, but I like I like the he seems like he's got something to prove a little bit more, and that's what I want to hear.
Definitely.
That's what I want to hear from Migos, because I think they do have something to prove. Like they have one great album. I mean, Washington said they have some good albums, but one classic in the last like 5 years.
Like 5 years, yeah.
We're looking for another one. Time's ticking. Lil Baby's dropping every 3 months. Polo G's dropping songs here and there. Like these guys, music is different than it was a couple years ago. Like you can't just you almost can't just drop one project a year. You have to do like one project plus like features. Like you can't just do one project a year. Like Young Thug's already got how many songs out this year plus features. Like he's already doing a ton of shit.
Yeah.
And I know he's not done. So it's like and it's hard to. I don't want to say you have to just make a ton of music, but you almost have to just stay up with shit. Like Roddy Ricch is on the clock right now. I know this is a different subject, but Roddy Ricch got to get going. Like Polo G, Lil Durk, they're throwing music out left and right, and it's hitting. Like
Yeah.
I know time's infinite, but like sometimes some of these guys got to get it going. I'm ready to hear Migos with some hopefully classic songs to come for this summer. Uh, so I like that question. Let's see, what do I want to do next? Oh yeah, so I guess you want to talk a little bit about you listened to the new Yachty project mixtape that just dropped last night. It was called, what was it, Michigan Boat? I think it was called.
Michigan Boy Boat.
Okay, Michigan Boy Boat, that dropped. So there was a lot of drops last night. Just to preface, Moneybagg Yo had an album. Lil Yachty with a mixtape. Corday had an EP the other day, and Young Thug obviously with the deluxe version. But you want to talk about the Lil Boat mixtape, because I saw it was like a lot of Detroit artists, I believe, right? I saw a couple names that I kind of knew, one here and there. But you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I kind of so I remember like just being on YouTube, listening to shit, and like in my suggested, there's like this song by Yachty with like 6 artists on it, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I listened to it, and it's like this Michigan shit, like this like Detroit style kind of shit, and I guess he flew out there at some point, became friends with all of them, like Flint and like Detroit and shit, and like he became immersed in their sound, and he's putting out videos with these artists, every couple weeks and shit. This is like in the fall
Right.
or like beginning of the winter, and all the songs are on SoundCloud and shit. I'm listening to it and I'm like, I really like this style, and before you know it, it's blowing up, because then you got people like you got people like YNJ and shit like blowing up on TikTok. You got songs like Coochie and Triple S blowing up on TikTok. And then I'm like, okay, I can see why Yachty is like leaning towards this. Like this is kind of like a new wave, not the new wave, because there's multiple new waves coming out, but this is a new wave. And
And just to point out real quick, he always loved, and that sound that you're talking about. It's kind of like the songs where he
the
does
T
like
Grizzly,
Grizzly.
yeah,
That's that sound you're talking about because
yeah, and T Grizzly's featured on the album like
right.
3 times
I
too.
did see that. Yeah. So that's what kind of sound we're talking about. Is that every time they link up, like what from the D to the A, and then there's a couple other songs that they do together that kind of have that vibe. But yeah, that's where you were going
Yeah, yeah,
at. I think you're gonna keep going.
yeah. So he put out a tape yesterday. He's been teasing this tape for like a month now. Um, it's I would definitely say that it's good. I like it. I wouldn't say that it was as good as like any of the Lucy singles that fell before it, because they were kind of more showcasing. The album seems like it's more about Yachty, and
This
the
Michigan
features are
Bros project.
yeah, and the features are kind of just there. I only listened to it once,
Right.
just kind of chilling and shit. But like, I only like I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's like he's not stealing their style, but he really just made it his
Yeah.
style for like an album. And I think that he pays the respect that is due for that scene very well. I'm not saying that he doesn't. I'm not saying that he's blatantly stealing. That's
Right.
not what I'm saying. I'm saying that he's just like he's just kind of trying to be one of them,
Yeah, he's just taking that sound for the project and putting
but
it.
they want him. But like they fuck with him to a point where like he can do that.
Yeah.
Like he can do that already. Like he went to all their hoods and shit. Like if you look at some of the Rio interviews before he got locked up, that's why on the cover it says Free Rio. He's one of the artists. He's saying that Yachty like left his security guard behind and like just went to the hood with him, just like saw like their lifestyle and shit. So
Right.
he was really about seeing all the shit that they've been going through. And most of those rappers ain't even leave the fucking state or the city. So
Yeah, I don't even like think it's necessarily about like Yachty being a bad guy. I thought he was a pretty good guy to
I
begin with.
don't think so either. It just seems like the music itself is more just like his shit.
Yeah, that's interesting to me because I honestly, when I first saw him post about it, I thought it was like gonna be like a kind of like a, oh, here's these guys. I want to bring in these Detroit guys, and I kind of listened to a little bit too, and I realized that yeah, it was almost like I'm gonna do your sound and you guys could be on the song a little bit like that. Not having that maybe attitude, but you're right. It did almost sound like it was yeah like a Lil Yachty project that he was like doing that sound and bringing these guys onto their songs. But yeah, I thought it was going to be more of like a showcase for the artist, not like a compilation tape like YSL just did, but like I thought he was going to like
I
promote that.
mean, I think that it's definitely like I think that it's not a showcase.
Yeah, like
Like I do
I've only
think it
listened to
is.
it like one time either too, so I'm not like hating
Yeah.
on it. But
I
that's
do think
also not like my particular sound. Like certain songs I like, but yeah, go ahead.
yeah, and like I don't know, like some of the songs like they just feel like they just pop in, and the thing is most of these people or Yachty's people don't even know, or like Yachty's listeners, they don't really even know who these people are.
But yeah, I really didn't know most of them honestly, other than like I've heard of SSJ Kobe. He was on it, right? Like,
No, that's a different project.
okay, different
That's a
project. Okay.
different
Well, I
project.
think I'd seen like one or two names anyway
Yeah.
that I'd known on there, but yeah, not for the most part. I didn't know many of them.
Yeah, so it was just interesting to see how it played out. I really think that there will be more like Yachty features, you know, from like songs that are just by like Y&J or Louis Ray. Like I think that he'll be on more featured songs, but and I think that the tape was good overall. It just should have felt like more of a showcase. Like there should have been more of the artists. There should
Yeah.
have been more like songs, because there was a couple of them where it was by himself.
Who Yachty?
Yeah, there was a Sway Lee song,
I saw
and
that.
I actually liked that one a lot. That might be my favorite one,
Yeah, that was
like right
interesting to hear
now.
because I mean, like I haven't really heard Sway Lee off of like, off of that one sound he normally does. You don't really hear him rarely off of his.
Yeah, and it was like hearing him on the Pop Smoke album.
Yeah,
That's not his vibe, but like
the
he killed it
yeah,
anyway.
he did really good on that the drill song with Pop Smoke. Yeah, for sure. I like that one.
Yeah.
Creature, I think.
So I think it's a solid project overall. I mean, been a lot of hype around it. I
Hmm.
think that's gonna grow on me a lot, but we'll just have to see how it plays out.
Yeah. I'll have to listen to it a little more, but like, yeah, that's not particularly my sound, like the Detroit style. But I do like when like Yachty and T Grizzly link up. They normally make some bangers, but I'll have to like catch up a little bit on that one. Yeah, I listened to a little bit of Moneybags, A Gangsta's Pain that also came out, and the first half of the album was kind of okay. Kind of sounded a little repetitive and not my style, but uh, the second half I kind of liked a lot. Like I said, there was a feature with Polo G and Lil Durk I really liked. I didn't listen to that one as much, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. But the other one, I listened to a little more Young Thug because that's my guy. Yeah, I think it was. I'm going to go to it just so I could see. I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or it was wait 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it was 7 songs. Wait 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, it's 8. Sorry, 8
The
songs.
Moneybagg Yo.
Yeah, no. I'm switching up. Sorry,
Okay.
I didn't listen to as much to the Moneybagg. As for the Slime Language Deluxe, that's what I was going into.
Yeah.
There were some features on there. Like I said, there was the baby one. There, Don Tolliver and B Slime were on a song. The B Slime was on the one song with Melly. That was on the original
Yeah.
project. Nav another feature. FN the Dealer. I think you mentioned him the other day, didn't you? You were talking about you wanted to see him more. Was that you, or was that
I
someone?
wanted to see more Duke.
Duke. I know we talked about. Maybe I was thinking of something else, but yeah, I remember that. But yeah, Yak Gotti and FN Dealer and Gunner on another song, and like I said before, Yes Sir Ski, but featuring his 7-year-old daughter. I forget what her name is, but she goes as Mego or Migo. It's Mego, all capital. And then
Yeah.
Jim Jones was on a song. I was a little surprised to see that one. And then Unfunk came on another song with 24
I listened to that one.
Future. It was the Mob Ties remix. I guess I don't even whose song is that originally. I don't
I don't know.
okay because I didn't even peep that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
But like I said earlier, the Don Toliver one, go listen. I don't know if you listened to that one already. Yeah, I fucking like that song, and I'm not a big
Okay.
Don Toliver fan, but I know you like Don Toliver a lot.
And B Slime is a young ass kid
Yeah,
too.
yeah, he's on that song too as well.
Like he's part of the YNW group,
Yeah, yeah,
but
because
he's like 15.
really
Like he's like 16, some shit.
that's crazy. These kids are so
Yeah,
goddamn young. Um,
I
and
know.
then
Yeah.
the one with the baby, I actually really liked. I thought it was better than the one. I know they had a song on the baby's deluxe album last year. I forget what the fuck it was called. Blind, I think it was Blind. It was a song the baby featured on Young Thug's album. I like that one. I like that song kind of, but this one was a really good song. It was they both. I'm trying to explain the song specifically, but they both it was a different it was a different flow for DaBaby. It wasn't his normal flow. He was like kind of rapping
Okay.
a lot, and I liked it.
So I can fuck with that.
I vibed with the sound. I forget who the producer was. It was a good song. But anyway, I didn't listen to the whole thing with that, but there was a couple good features on the deluxe that I wanted to point out that I did. So I'll have to check that out. I want to listen to Moneybagg more because I saw a couple of the songs at the bottom half I liked. He's I feel like he is evoluting his sound a little bit more than he had used to because I feel like a lot of people ragged on Moneybagg because he just kind of he does sound the same on a lot of songs. He kind of has a lot of
Yeah.
repetitiveness to him, but I liked a lot. He had some introspective stuff on the second half of the album that I peeped last night, so I want to listen to that a little more. Um, and then I guess we can go into the classic album, John. So we wanted to do like a little everyone always talks about classic hip hop albums, and you go to the Kanye Wests of like the 2010s and 808 Heartbreaks, and then the Drake, the old Drake albums. But we wanted to say like what albums have we seen in the last like 5 years or so, basically mostly since 2016 that we think are either future classic albums or we think they already are. So I
Hmm.
wanted to go to you first because I know you had told me a year or two, but what two albums do you think are future classics or already?
So so the first one is kind of old. It's 2015, but like that's still
Hmm.
fairly, and that's at long last ASAP. And That's the Rocky project. That's his third project, I think. It's his second to last one he's put out recently, with testing coming after. And I thought it was just cool, like I thought it was interesting to see how like he was so versatile on the project. I like to see, the samples he was using. He's making his own beats and shit. Yams had just passed away, a few months before the release. So so there's definitely some influence, with that. And it was kind of like his part. It was like him. It was him coming. He was getting personal. He's getting very personal. He's not in that rave turn up shit like he was with Long Live ASAP. With Wild for the Night and shit.
Yeah.
Even though at long last ASAP has some hits, it just feels more like a very personal album, and I liked that side of Rocky especially because I think that the creativity is sparked, differently, and it really, whatever he's trying to do, he does it well. And I think that if anything is like it's like what testing was trying to be, but without the notion that he was testing and
Yeah, like
shit.
experimental.
Even though testing is very experimental, but I feel like this is even more because there's so much more shit going on with him. And I mean, I might be wrong. There might have been other shit going on while testing was happening.
Right.
But I think that, like I said, between Deathy Yams, RIP Yams, and like just all this shit going on. They're waiting on Rocky putting out another project and shit. Like he really brought out the big guns, and he worked with some crazy big people like Kanye producing a couple tracks on there and shit. Like he's working with like Danger Mouse and shit. He's working with TDE, Schoolboy Q. He's working with Kendrick and shit. Like the it's an all-star lineup, and I don't know. I think that's always been a personal favorite of mine as well.
Which one?
So
What was that part? I'm sorry. You said what
at
part?
long last ASAP. I think what the fuck? I think that's always been, personal favorite of mine. Like that project. Like
Right.
I've always listened to that like in high school. Always listened to it, in college. I haven't really listened to it much recently, but there have been times where I've been on that kick again. And I just might go back on it because I've been talking about it.
What's your favorite song off of it?
I like Wavy Bone. I like I like the slow songs, like with Future.
Okay.
I like Canal Street.
Yeah,
I
that's a
like the
classic.
opener. I like the opener Holy Ghost. Um, because like that's very introspective, and he's trying to tie shit to like religion and shit. Like he hasn't been talking, so whatever, he hasn't been preaching what he believes in and
Yeah.
shit. Like that's a good way to start an album. It's a good way to set the tone. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think of other ones. Electric Body with Schoolboy Q.
Well,
You know,
how about your other one you wanted to talk about? I think you had another album on your mind as well, right?
Love versus the World.
We brought that up the other day too, but yeah, why would you say that one?
And
I would totally agree with you with that one.
I think that like that sound that redefined cloud rap shit that Rocky was
I
even.
don't even know if you can call it. I guess it did come off of cloud rap. You're right, but it almost
Yeah, yeah.
it made into the sound that we had heard. I'll let you go on.
It became like the trap sound. People it went from like cloud rap to
The
psychedelic
original,
trap.
I shouldn't say the original trap sound, but like yeah, the recent trap sound we've heard.
Like airy synths, classic like droney kind of layers and shit, like video game fucking sound and beats and shit.
Yeah,
Like high roller sounding like a fucking Sonic racing or
yeah,
like a Sonic fucking menu beat or some shit like
facts.
like it's a very interesting, album. It's a very good take on what was popping at that time. And I
Yeah.
think that Uzi really did a good job considering it's like 9 songs, no features, no features at all. It's just him.
Yep.
That's just what we need.
You don't see it at all really anymore. But I guess it wasn't. Was that considered a studio project? I don't think it was, right?
It's more considered a mixtape, but in my opinion, I would consider it as a studio
Right. Well,
project.
yeah, I think most people normally do, but I guess yeah, because there was 9 songs, you almost don't. But I don't know. I guess over time it just changes. But sorry, go ahead.
No, but like it's just like I said, like that cloud rap that Rocky was even doing back in like 2011 and shit.
Yeah.
He just like the redefined like trap melodies and shit, like and like you can definitely say you can't say that cloud rap isn't a part of that album. It is. It influences it in some type of way, and like I think of songs like Scott and Ramona like that. I think Grab the Wheel is very reminiscent
Yeah.
of like what was popping, the year before it came out, but it's just more modernized. And the thing is, people don't need to come up with that album made me think like people don't need to come up, with brand new original ideas to be original. They can just tweak sounds and see what happens. Like if you don't play around, like there's no progression without like experimentation.
Right.
And I think Uzi and the producers that he's working with, he got Molly Raw, he got Metro, he got Wonder Girl, um, he got Lyle, he got Lyle DeLuff on or LaDuff on there, whatever the fuck his name is. He's an engineer he's an engineer that's close to Uzi.
Right.
And with Cardi around the corner and shit, it's really set up what was gonna be big in the next couple years. Because I think of like Playboy Cardi self-titled as like his love of verse the world,
Right.
pushing boundaries, new sound, redefined, modernized. Everybody's trying to do it now,
Cardi's
but
trying
I
to do it
mean,
again. I mean, he even they're already speculating. The punk rock sound that he put in
yeah,
last
yeah,
project,
for sure.
and we'll
And
have
and
to
it's
wait.
only and it's only been like 2 years since he put out the self-titled, or like
Right.
3 years. Actually, no, it's been like 4 years now.
Yeah, it was like
But
27,
like,
right?
but like he's been teasing a whole lot of red in that sound ever since
I remember we
like
talked about that last week.
2018,
Like,
2019.
yeah, we
Like
remember we talked about that last week. Like, sound and music literally changes all the time, and like even more frequently than you think. I was talking the last time about like every 5 years, kind of the sound shifts a different way, and it seems like we may be heading onto that path. Who knows what route we'll get? I mean, I'm not sure, but
I
yeah,
was saying this last week, like it's music is timeless, but it's also so disposable. It's just like 3 weeks pass and it's like
yep.
what's next?
Especially in the streaming
Like
era. Yeah,
even when Whole Lot of Red came out, I
people want
really
the
like that.
features.
I really like that project. I really enjoy that project, and I'm not even trying to dick ride Cardi or
No,
anything. I
you
really
didn't like it that much. I liked it more than you at the beginning. I remember
in
because
the
you were
beginning
like,
I wasn't a fan of it, but now I really like it.
yeah,
And it was just like after 3 weeks I wasn't really even listening to it.
yeah,
Like
because it's just what's next. It's like what's next. It's just
yeah, I've been listening to it again though, but like it's just like we're always trying to find what's next. And the thing is, people got realize that music is here to stay. It doesn't matter, what the fuck comes out. You're not if you're rushing to put out something or to be a part of a wave,
yeah.
and you're not gonna be successful.
I
That's
agree.
what I found out as like making beats and shit too. Like you can't chase something like a certain sound or like a certain placement or whatever. You just gotta let shit happen. You just gotta keep doing your shit regardless,
Yeah.
and they're gonna fuck with if they fuck with you, they'll let you know. So
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And I was kind of smirking when you kept saying like, we're just waiting for what's next. And Drake's been telling us that pretty recently. He says he was about
yeah,
to have next,
yeah,
but now,
exactly.
but I like those two album choices. I think those are really good. And more so, I'm obviously Love vs. the World is one of my albums that got me listening. Got me listening to the trap sound that I listen to today. But I'm gonna go a little different route. And this album took me.
Yeah,
This album took me
yeah.
a little bit.
What do you think?
Yeah, this album took me a little bit longer to get into because I don't know, there's so much music and I didn't really pay attention to it at first. But Future, we talk about a lot of albums with him, and he drops a ton of projects, and some of them honestly go unseen. But the one I wanted to bring up was Hendrix, the album from
Yeah,
2017. This is a different Future album than most. It's not. I mean, yes, while it has some trap sounding songs that I really like, there's a lot of introspective, just getting Future and his real drug problems and his real issues with girls. And I don't know, I just thought it specifically some of these songs, like Coming Out Strong with the Weekend, one of my favorite songs on that album, Incredible, Testify. There's so many songs, Hallucinating. I think I don't know if it necessarily defined a sound like your projects did, but this one just kind of defined a Future for me almost. It gave me like a real, like, wow, I think this. I'm trying to word it right. Future, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say now. I'm totally lost. But this is not good. Uh, wow. I don't know why I'm losing it so much, but this out. I mean, do you want to talk a little bit about this album? I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm losing.
So Future Hendrix.
The
That's
2017
the
project.
white. That's the white album
Yeah.
cover. So he. So I'm more of a fan of the Future album
Yeah.
of
You.
that
I remember
side.
you brought that out before too.
But like I agree with Future. Like he has that side where it's like the slow shit, or where it's like the love songs and shit.
And I think that just
And
really hit me in a different way, like than most Future projects definitely did. And I think that's why it kind of stands out to me. And I think as time goes on, I think this people will actually, if they go back and listen to these songs, that they'll realize like this is the Future that people don't really.
well,
Know.
there's two sides. There's two sides to it. It's like Future showing the trap side of Future. He's showing like the love
The
songs.
dark love songs more so.
Yeah, with Hendrix, and I mean, I think that he did a good job portraying both of those because that's who
Yeah.
he is, and I think that those laid the blueprint for future albums like the Wizard.
That's a good one.
Like that's a good blend. I think that's a good blend of that shit, and that's why I like the Wizard a lot.
Yeah, you were really high on that one when that came out.
I liked that one a lot because it just felt like a condensed version of the two.
Yeah.
And I can understand like how some people think that those two albums are classics as well. And it's not like I don't agree,
Yeah.
but it's like, you know, people can find better ways to do shit. I think once Future realized he can just condense it and he made the Wizard, then he was set.
Yeah.
I still the thing is though, I still see people bumping like I still see people posting songs off of Hendrix like
Once in a while.
pretty frequently. Like now I think about it, I feel like I see like people just are still listening to it.
No, I agree. Yeah.
They like use me. They like I don't
Hallucinating.
even know. Yeah, that one.
I
I
feel like
don't
I
even
see
know
that
what
one
other.
pretty frequently. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is just an album that kind of gets lost in Future's discography almost because there's so
Yeah,
many fucking songs and so many collaboration albums that people even look at way more than them. So I feel like this is almost, I just want to give it more respect in the way that it deserves. That's why I also brought it up. And then I got one in a left field that you probably won't agree with, but I don't have a lot of reasons behind it, but I will just say it. I think My Turn by Lil Baby will eventually be a classic album, and
okay.
my reason is because I go on the list of songs, and just straight up, I just think all like 90% of them are bangers. And I know that's like opinionated, but I feel like while it, I think really, I remember when he was talking about this album in interviews, he would sit down and say like, "This is the first time I've actually sat down and locked in on an album like fully." Like, a lot of these artists actually like really do freestyle a lot of their shit, but I think
Yeah,
this is the first time in Lil Baby's career that he had really sat down and was like, "All right, I'm gonna work toward this project." And I thought a lot of the songs he had were like a lot of the different features. Really, he worked well with them. I think he had a lot of aggressive bars. I think um, he rapped really well. I think he rapped probably better. I don't want to say rap better. I think the music selection, the production, helped his voice better in this project than his previous projects. And I do love a lot of his previous projects, like um, all of a sudden, or that's not called all of a sudden. Too hard, and what's the one with shit? What's the one with the
Trip
other white
harder.
cover? What? No, no, is that no the other white cover? Shit.
Oh,
It's like I'm
I
straight.
don't,
There's Exotic on there. There's the one with
I don't
Uzi,
even,
whatever. But
I don't even.
I like a lot of his old projects. But my point was, I think a lot of the songs on there will be hits in the next few years. Like the one with Gunna, I think Heathen is a really good song. The one with Moneybagg Yo is a great song. He's got one with Lil Wayne that people don't really talk about that much. Is a really good song. The one with Uzi, they both go back and forth, just trading shots. I love it. Just song after song, I think, and 42 Doug's on there a bunch of times. We Paid went gold, like right the fuck away. I think a lot
Yeah,
of once in a couple years, once the tree settles, I think we're gonna look back at this album and be like, oh wow, this song went to top five. Oh, this is Bad Diamond, this is platinum. I really do think a lot of these songs. I don't know how the totality of the songs will fit together in the next few years and how it'll like last together and kind of flow throughout history because we see with like some of these most of these classic albums, they kind of have like a sense of uh like they're put together in a way that is like not that they all sound the same, but they all have a certain goal. And I'm not sure if all these Lil Baby songs are just like if it's an album or if it's just an album of great songs. I don't know if they're
they're
gonna,
just trying to sell it.
yeah. So I don't know if it's gonna be. I don't know if they're gonna all fit together in the next 5 years, but I really do think this is gonna be an album that we're gonna say, oh shit, there's like 15 songs in here that are like really fucking good.
Yeah,
And I just think that well, only time will tell for that because it just dropped last year. So obviously people are going to argue with me, but that's fine. I just think it's going to be an album that we're going to look back at in the future.
I mean, for me, I really enjoyed My Turn. If I'm gonna be honest, I remember listening to it a lot during quarantine.
Yeah, it's one
And
card started.
damn, I'm like, damn, Lil Baby is like actually not a bad like songwriter.
Yeah, that's what you got songwriter
And
because we were talking about that. I think
yeah,
episodes
yeah,
like
exactly.
songwriter.
I was like, yeah, Lil Baby isn't really that bad of a songwriter.
Yeah,
Like he just applies himself, which he's been doing. Then like he's putting out solid, and he can rap for shit too. Like
yeah,
he's good. Like I liked him already ever since he got kind of put on by Drake and shit. With
yeah.
Yes
Of
Indeed,
course,
and that was a while ago too.
2018, I believe.
Yeah, like somewhere around there.
So yeah, no, I agree. What's I gonna say? I don't know. Did you
I
have any?
remember listening to Grayson shit by 42 Doug. I
Yeah,
like the Moneybagg Yo song. I like the Rilo song. I really like Rilo, like in general. Now
yeah,
I like him because he's funny as shit, and the wordplay is so like ridiculous, and
yeah.
like he definitely gets it from Baby too. So
Facts. No, and like even the ones with the songs with Young Thug on the album, I think Lil Baby's really like trading back with Young Thug and going back and forth, and it just seems like he has more. Like he just put. It seems like he put more into the album, and I know he said it.
yeah,
It's. I think it's pretty obvious. I'm not saying it's his best album. I like some of his previous projects too. I don't know if it's his best, but I really do think he just sat down and
yo.
did a lot of work. What you got some breaking news or something? What we got?
Well, I mean, for me, kind of. I just went on Twitter and Made in Tokyo just started following me.
Oh, nice.
But then again, he also follows like hella people on Twitter. But like still, like
Speaking of him, I haven't heard him for a fucking minute. Dude. I think I was following him.
he's been being so low key and low key. I listened to a couple of songs he's put out and they're fucking fire.
I don't
Like
even know why.
there's this one with 24 hours. It's called Left Foot Out. So good.
I'll have to check it out because
So good.
I remember hearing he would put a project out. I don't even know when it was, sometime last year. And I remember like it would just be on my feed and like the one song, I guess, like you know how artists will like play the one song on like and on an Instagram thing and like it'll be their promotion or whatever. I heard the song
Yeah.
and I just was totally uninterested. I was like, damn, I don't know. I didn't have the time. I guess I don't want to say I didn't have the time to go check him out, but I just was like, I heard the song and I was like, oh, this just doesn't sound like something I want to hear. But yeah, I guess
Yeah.
like listen to because I mean he disappeared. Holy shit, he was a XXL freshman in what 2019. It was only 2 years ago. Oh my god, it's crazy how you. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy how you can fall out of the game, and maybe it was on purpose for him. Maybe he, like you said, he wanted to stay low. But I'm telling you, Roddy, I love you, Roddy, but you're on the clock. I don't have my Apple Watch on, but time to release some music, bro. Everyone's releasing music. They like people, it's I don't even know. I already said it before, but you got to keep releasing music. People are doing it at a higher rate than probably ever before. So
I mean, you gotta stay consistent, but you also gotta be quick with it because
yeah,
there's
yeah,
hella more people doing
it's a
it.
tough balance. I'm sure. I've never made music.
Yeah,
Tough balance. I totally understand. But what?
it's like for me making like beats and shit. I like it's like hard for me to send shit out because people ask for shit more than I make it. Like
Yeah,
and I make like 3 beats a day or try to,
right.
some shit like that. So I'm like, fuck, like what the fuck am I like supposed to do?
Just the era of like I keep saying the music the way the music era has developed like just the way streaming has gone you just have to release more music than you used to. It's just the way it is. I get it, it's tough, but we want to hear it as consumers now. Damn, there was one story I wanted to bring up but I forgot. It was about I saw that uh Apple was being criticized, or Apple Music was being criticized for paying their what is it, a cent per stream or whatever. Did you see that story that came out?
Yeah, but I feel like it's just so minuscule already.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I heard Spotify was what, fucking half of that, right? I think it was like,
Probably.
I think it was like half a cent per stream or some shit.
Yeah, it's hard to make fucking money.
It's crazy. I don't know how you fix that. I mean, I'm sure there's a way, but I, I don't know. It just sounds too. I don't. It just sounds way too small for me. I don't really know how the numbers work. You probably know that more than me.
I do, and I'm not really surprised to hear that.
Yeah.
So
It,
it's fucked.
what do you think can be done about it? I guess legislation, but I don't know what the fuck.
I've heard more shit that people. I've heard that there's gonna be more. I think this is SoundCloud specifically, and I think we even talked about this. But I think there's gonna be more of like a there's gonna be more of like it's listeners based on who's listening, not how many listens. But that
Yeah,
doesn't really even help the case either,
that's what I'm saying.
because
Like, yeah,
like that's who's listen. That's not all right. How many listens? That's
I
who's
was gonna say,
listening.
if you and me listen to Lil Durk and I listen to him way more than you, what, we're the same? That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't that make
It
any
doesn't
sense?
make sense for
If I
shit.
listen to more Lil Durk, why doesn't he get more money from my streams and less from yours? Because you listen to him way less than me. That just off the like a little person brain, like a little brain like me. Like that's just the way. Like
I know that the shit isn't set in stone yet, but it's looking like that's what's gonna happen, and that's gonna change everything so much because all all music has been about in the entire history that it's been, you know,
it's been about sales.
it's been about sales and numbers. How many streams you got? We look at how many people make, how many copies sell first week. What's gonna happen with that?
I don't know.
Like,
We're gonna have to just. I don't know. It's gonna have to redefine. It's gonna redefine
we're
music.
gonna see some artists talk about that for sure.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be silent about it.
Now, obviously, the big artists don't have to worry about it, but they might. I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna affect. I don't know how that'll affect like a. I guess it obviously shouldn't affect the Drake per se, but like how will that affect? some of these bigger artists come? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that question, and I guess we're just gonna have to keep our eyes on that because I did see that, and I was like, I knew it was already minuscule to begin with, but just on perspective, it's like, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be
Yeah.
we're gonna have to follow. That's all I got today for me. I'm gonna have to check out Moneybagg, Yachty, Corday, Young Thug all put out music. I'm sure there's a fuck ton more. Um, that's all I got on my end. I don't. You got anything on your end from? I don't know. What do you do? You say you're making beats. What you got going on right now?
I don't really have any big things yet, but
Yeah,
I'm
didn't I
kind
mean
of
you
just
had stuff drop right? Like people, I think having people drop stuff like for you, like that you produced or
the
whatever.
past few weeks or so, yeah. There's a Daytona Fox song that I produced that, and he's currently Takeoff's artist right now.
Right.
So me and him got a song. That song's most recent project. It's number 3. It's called "Where's the Hook," and yeah, it's good. I'm about to check that song real quick, actually. Now that you mention it, because
Yeah.
I
So
like to see what the streams are.
facts. So I
Yeah,
don't see.
it's got over 2K streams right now.
Yeah,
So
nice. Well,
yes, sir.
go run those streams up, boys and girls.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
well, we probably will not catch you next week. We'll see what we're doing from here. I don't know what's gonna happen. School end of school semester, so we'll be back soon. Um, music's dropping. We'll keep paying attention to it and follow and pay attention to the social. I started the Instagram. I redid that, so I'm gonna be posting on there pretty frequently. Clips of this episode. Link in bio. You know, the link will be in the bio for the YouTube.
Mhm.
What was I gonna say? Obviously we're on Spotify too, and I'll try to do some interactive posts and stuff as well. So yeah, let me know in the comments what how we're doing or whatever, and we'll see you whenever we see you in the near future, guys.
Yes, sir. We will see y'all very soon.
Peace, guys.